We are live. 10 minutes late, but we're live to the YouTube and the Twitterverse, my friends. Don't eat salad and produce right now. Dude, I saw that. I also saw somebody post their wife text them like, please, will you pick up Taco Bell tonight for dinner? And the guy just responds, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Because isn't Taco Bell like one of the main culprits? Which I don't eat Taco Bell. I don't really like cheese. I don't like cheesy tacos. I certainly don't want your shitty Taco Bell tacos. I'm fucking out. Grocery units, similar to betting units, if we're all gamblers out there, which refers to individual items or products sold, fell 1.8% in June from a year earlier. A sharp reversal from the 0.1% year over year growth recorded in June 2025. So we've fallen a lot. While prices continue to rise about 2 to 3% a year over year, the inflation cushion for the industry is no longer enough to keep overall sales growing. That big grocery stock up trip that cost you $300 in 2019 is now costing you 400. Shut the fuck up. It's way more than that. That big grocery stock up trip that cost you $300 in 2019 definitely costs you 500 or more dollars now. Like that's not a question. Like that number is fucking way off. Whoever wrote this article, that's fucking off. That is a lie. Is Rand lactose intolerant? No, I can fucking. I got milk. I got milk in my motherfucking coffee, dog. I overate cheese as a child, mass little Baby Bell cheese wheels and shit, and I burn out on it. And like, there was a point, I don't know what age I was, but as a young child, that I just burn out on cheese. I stopped getting cheeseburgers. I stopped eating just like raw cheese. I still eat pizza. I'll have, fried mozzarella stick or something. I'll eat mozzarella, provolone, stuff like that, but I don't get like way out there. I'm not trying to get some fucking exotic stanky ass cheese. You know what I mean? I don't eat cheese too much. I'm not the biggest fan of cheese for whatever reason. Even the upper income consumer, you're talking a big enough absolute dollar change that people start to feel a little bit of that sticker shock and start to shop around. Yeah, this shit is out of control. It's been out of control since fucking COVID though. Like it's gone up way more than 25% in the past 7 years. Like that cannot be right. Grocery prices are roughly up 33% higher than they were in 2019. That's not fucking true. They're like doubled. Reduced SNAP benefits. Bain's U.S. Consumer Pulse Wave survey conducted in May found 80% of Americans are still trying to spend less, while 28% are actively cutting back on grocery spend. Among those shoppers, 56% said they are trading down to cheaper brands. 49% said they're buying fewer items. It's probably more than that. 44% said they're relying more heavily on coupons and promotions. Out of this stuff, these people don't even really know that number that accurately. Like, am I buying fewer items? Yes, than a year ago for sure. But like, I don't. Most people probably go no, and they don't even realize they're one average item less, or two or three average items less. Trends are having a ripple effect for producers like Pepsi. Blah 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 blah. North American food revenue fell 2% while volume was flat. Wow. I think the consumer is worse than what we've anticipated. No shit. Finally, a real article. And it's driven mainly by gas prices. No, it's by all your prices. See, Ramon Lagarta, don't fucking blame it on gas. It's because all your Pepsis and chips and everything you fucking make's gone up in price too, dude. Piece of lying. Oh, it's because of gas. Retailers, including Walmart and Kroger, have emphasized price cuts and value focused promotions to attract shoppers. Summer price cuts to beef, ice cream, and other items. The entire industry is trying to get back to unit growth, not just dollar growth, but said that that strategy may become increasingly important. Wow. When your grocery store is starting to compete, feels like we're just kind of slowly chugging along to the top of a market here. Like, not gonna lie, We're chopping around at this top still. This is the weekly. We've been chopping around up here since we went to war with Iran in May. Do we just keep chopping around and build a top? Chopping just sideways would be beautiful. My trading bot would beat the market. We'd be chilling and accumulating cash flow before the next leg up. We are at such a weird inflection point right now, but I feel like we're always there. Do we go up or down? Everything is always priced kind of right, you know? It's hard to tell. I used to love Pepsi. I was part of the Pepsi generation, but ever since COVID, it doesn't taste the same. Really? Anybody else feel like that? I was always a Coke person. Captain and Coke. That's what I drink. I want a Coca-Cola. But Pepsi Mountain Dew, though. Pepsi's got all the good snacks, too. NVIDIA unveils a new AI model. IRS tax liens can be a kiss of death, and they're on the rise. There's been an uptick in the number of tax liens filed by the IRS service in recent years, exposing more people who owe federal tax debt to potential job loss. The inability to secure loans and other downstream financial impacts. The IRS filed more than 214 notices of federal tax liens in 2025 fiscal year, which ended September 30th. That's a 9% increase from the prior year and a 36% rise from 2022. The upward trend is largely due to resumption and more normal tax collections following a temporary suspension of enforcement activity during the COVID-19 pandemic. That shit is way over. We are fucking 6 years past the pandemic. Like, why is it coming up in conversations? Time the household struggling with the affordability issues after years of above target inflation. Yeah, people fucking can't even pay this. Deep cuts to IRS staff overseen by the Trump administration, leading some observers to question whether the agency will rely more heavily on automated lien filings to compensate for reduced manpower. It's just a kiss of death for a lot of things. Taxpayers' Rights, who formerly served as the IRS National Taxpayer Advocate of a tax lien, is the government's legal claim against taxpayers' property, such as real estate financial assets, when they don't pay a tax debt. One of the IRS's enforcement mechanisms, among others, like tax refund offsets and garnishing a person's wages, for example. The IRS has a priority claim on taxpayers' debts. They can make it difficult for the taxpayer to access new credit, perhaps via a mortgage or refinancing a home, or for an entrepreneur to get a revolving line of credit, for example. All finance stops. What lenders will say is, I'll be in line after the IRS." Yeah, that's not going to happen. A lien may trigger workers to get fired from their jobs if they work in certain industries, such as government with those with certain security clearances, or finance, who founded the tax litigation clinic at Harvard University and worked for more than 3 decades at the IRS office. The lien has strong implications for some people. It has collateral consequences. Wow. Leaning more on automation. The agency employed 74,000 people at the beginning of 2026 season, a 27% reduction in a year. Damn, they've lost over a quarter of their people in a year. Reducing headcount by up to 50,000 employees, a staffing level not seen since the 60s. Wow. Then we're going to have a bunch of automated liens sent out and people are going to get fucked by the AI. "Sorry, we put a lien on your house and you lost your job. My bad. I'll correct that in the system." Spell Pepsi in reverse, then research Senomoxy is where they source their ingredients and you'll be glad you lost the taste for it. What is Pep? Verse it and invert it? What? Oh, is dead? Oh, dang. Fuck. Fuck. Who created Pepsi? Why? What's the story behind the name Pepsi? Fuck. I, uh, I really, I've been heavy in the energy stocks. We haven't really brought up the personal account. I think I'm down in the NLR, which is my nuclear ETF, but then we do have like power and clean, and we just added NEE over here, New Era Energy, I believe is what it is called. I am a massive believer in Research Moxie. At some point, maybe we'll put it in. I am a massive believer that energy stocks and infrastructure stocks have to go up. We have realized if we want to reindustrialize America and actually make things, we need the best, most abundant, and cheapest sources of power. That's the only way you're going to build things. What I'm hearing from energy insiders: open, close, down, up. It's also the subsequent moves in crude and oil prices. I'm almost reluctant to write anything concrete here because by the time you read it, it may already be dated. As I recently wrote, any energy investors, has to stay very nimble these days. Don't change just after blah 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 blah. All right, CENTCOM's bombing people. We fucking get it. We 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 get it. This is all about fucking Iran and oil. I thought we were going to be talking about something else. Oil's already moving. Borrowing costs, bond yields in the U.S. have popped back above 4.6. That's one part of the succinct breakdown. This is all about Iran. I don't give a fuck. I thought we'd be talking about other shit at this point. Overall stock market is still cheap, part because earning estimates keep going up. He now has a forward PE multiple of 19.5 times earnings on the S&P 500. Energy stocks are only 3% of the S&P 500, but they generated 5% of the earnings. The energy companies' earnings are expected to double. ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, and others are greatly exposed to the rising price of oil. So as the prices have gone higher, so too have earnings estimates. This is true. Wall Street's take. While many investors remain more focused on the latest developments in Iran, what's happening in Russia is also driving a handful of U.S. energy stocks. Ukraine continues to pound Putin by hitting Russian refineries deep inside the country. Those drone strikes are driving up the prices of many refined oil products, such as diesel fuel. Stock buyers are flocking to U.S. refining companies. 6 stocks keep powering to the new highs. PBF Energy has doubled this year. Par Pacific and Delek K aren't far behind. A big note: if you're considering some of these stocks, a few are above their main Wall Street price targets. Caveat emptor. Interesting. I don't know anything about these. Phillips 66, Valero, Marathon. Is this because these are all refiners? Because the other refiners are getting fucked up, and if Russian refiners get fucked up and Middle East refiners get fucked up, then we're the only ones left. We're the last men standing. Doesn't this sound like World War II all over again? Because we're fucking sea to shining sea and you can't really touch us. Everybody else is going to get fucked up and we're going to rebuild our fucking reindustrialize America and be on top again, dude. I predict a big boom. 2030s, the 2030s, it's going to be like the roaring 20, the 1920s. All right, sorry. That was a little out there. We recently wrote about a nuclear power and how it's back to growth mode. One stock we discussed was uranium producer, Camco. We do like all the nuclear stocks. Truist Securities is out with a positive note on the stock. Our government is investing in rare earth minerals and nuclear energy. This makes so much sense. Buy rating of 129 target. That's a 40% upside. High quality, vertically integrated uranium platform with strong positioning to a favorable long-term supply demand outlook and rising uranium prices. He also notes that while Camco has had meaningful re-rating in recent years, he thinks improves contract pricing is coming, which commands a higher multiple. Speaking of power, let's talk about the Bitcoin turned AI power providers like TeraWulf. Easton, Maryland-based Wolf is one of the group's companies that began as a Bitcoin power provider but pivoted to power for AI. To be clear, these companies, TeraWulf along with Hut 8, Cipher Digital, CleanSpark, may get lumped together, but they are not the same. Their models are different and demand investor views to value them individually on their own merits. This is very, very fucking interesting. Almost all the Bitcoin miners have fucking pivoted to AI, which makes sense. They've learned how to build these massive data centers. They've learned how to power them. They've learned how to cool them. They've learned how to be the most efficient, how to build them out. It only makes sense that as Bitcoin is hurting, they diversify their means of income and revenue by going into AI because they're so similar. Not financial advice. I'm a guy in my basement smoking a joint. A lot of you are probably new here. I just started streaming on YouTube and X again, if you're watching over there. Not financial advice. I stream 1 hour a day before the market opens. I'm just drinking coffee, having my morning joint before I go to work. My portfolio only has about $22,000 in it. That's it. I am no master out here. So don't fucking listen to me. This is all for fun. And then he got higher and then he got high. Then he got high and then he got high. It's exactly. See? Rand, bring back the mugs. God, the mugs are never going to get let down. What did I tell you, dude? When we reach half of our concurrent viewers we had in the past, we used to have 100 concurrent viewers. We're at 9 right now. I appreciate everybody out there. If we get to 50, we need to 5x from here. I will do a Rand Corp mug giveaway again. We will give away mugs, okay? 100K concurrent viewers. Let's get there. Diesel defects. We know who you are. We know you're on your Anon name. We know what's out there. All right. Models are different. That said, they do have a loose affiliation in that they all produce power that's needed by big data centers and hyperscalers. These companies make money by signing large long-term contracts to provide power. That's interesting. So they're not running, it's not the data center they're running, it's that they've figured out how to do the power. 20-year, 19 billion or more deal with Anthropic. CleanSpark just landed its own 2-decade agreement with a big tech customer in Georgia. We spoke about it on CNBC with the CEO, and a few months ago, Hut 8 inked a 15-year, $9.8 billion deal of its own. Dude, that is fucking 15 years? You're good, dog. These gains haven't deterred Star Morgan Stanley analyst Stephen Bird. Okay, Stephen, what do you got to say about it? On many of these stocks, his $72 target on TeraWulf implies a tripling from here. His $48 target on Cipher Digital is more than a double. Part of the bullish rationale is that these huge deals in the companies are signing should reset their valuations. We need to figure out a new name for these companies as Bitcoin turned AI power providers is way too lumpy. We threw that out to you on X and you turned in some good ones and some funny ideas. Oh shit, I want to see what those are after this. If you're bullish around data centers, there's one biggish piece of news to note. New York has become the first state to ban new data centers, at least for 1 year. TeraWulf CEO gave us a statement about NY's move against data centers. The executive order should bring great clarity and a sensible, practical path forward led by the recognized experts at the Public Service Commission. Referring to one of his power projects in the state, Lake Mariner is operational, fully permitted, and on pace. The gold standard for power secured, development ready AI infrastructure, and the moratorium, does not change our expectations for Lake Hawkeye. Inside the Line with David Crane. David is the current CEO of the investment platform. David, you're the ultimate power player. You've been the CEO of 5 public companies and a DC insider. Why make the move to Generate? Dude, the Brian Diesel died. He was reborn into Megatron, who's remaining sleeping in the ice. I'm just a node. Oh shit, okay, I get it, dude. Electrification, Strait of Hormuz is shut down, dude. We're moving away from oil. I get it. We're moving away from diesel. My dude sold his truck, got a Tesla. I get it. Brian, I think you're just very polite telling me that I am old. As you know, I am a power as an electricity guy. Electricity has been the foundation of most aspects of modern society for more than a century now, but never has it been more so than right now due to the tsunami of electric power AI data centers under the development around the country. This is so fucking true. While media attention tends to be on the massive data centers being developed, the great majority of new data centers are going to be small to mid-size, located on the urban suburban edge, interconnected to the lower voltage parts of the transmission network, and partially, if not totally, dependent on behind the meter power assets. Right now, the coin of the realm in our sector is speed to power. Whomever can reliably deliver newly generated electrons to data centers in the shortest period of time can achieve attractive returns. Damn, that's so crazy. But the singular focus on speed is creating a grassroots driven backlash, which is going to favor those who can offer holistic solutions that address the legitimate concerns of all stakeholders while still securing for the data center users the power they need to compute. Damn. Dude, Brian gets these like awesome interviews just over a fucking text conversation. That's so sick. Opposition to data center development will continue to spread and deepen so long as there is the reality or even the perception that data centers are being developed, constructed, and operated to the detriment of their neighbors without opposition will continue without countervailing benefits in the form of employment or local tax contribution. The detriment could involve water usage, electricity consumption, ambient heat, carbon footprint, construction traffic. What about like pollutants from just burning diesel to fucking power them? Responsible data center developers and their energy partners can provide solutions uh, or mitigants to all of these detrimental effects, but in the land grab of the last couple years, not all have. Interesting. Data centers in space, dude. Are we sending data centers in space? Before we consider space, why not the ocean? I wouldn't do that either since I follow what I call the Kevin Costner principle from the movie Waterworld. Anything you do in the ocean is 3 times more expensive than doing it on land. I can only imagine what the space multiplier might be. But then again, I'm not a visionary like Elon or Sam. I'm just a simple power guy trying to produce electrons, dude. Totally agree with that, dude. I worry that some market observers fail to properly weigh the timetable risks associated with energy technologies that are promising non intermittent zero carbon solutions to data centers, such as new nuclear and to the lesser extent advanced geothermal. Need power now or as soon as possible, while a wave of new modular nuclear plants or advanced geothermal plants feel to me like they are still 10 to 15 years away. I love this. I love hearing that. I want to invest in nuclear energy and like the NLR ETF I'm in, and I get that it is a long term play. I want it to be volatile. I want to be underwater and add to that position. What is particularly perplexing to me is that no one is really going to know when the nuclear geothermal wave lands on shore until just before it does. How do data center companies adequately mitigate this timetable risk since they're investing something like 10 to 12x? Aren't they going to power it with like, they're just going to power it with diesel fuel now? Uh, aren't they going to read the last issue Power Insider here? Catch up with Corey Burnett. Always has my ear. Here, do this work. Should have yours. He does drop a little musical note in here. Okay. Russia's oil is in their own growing energy export. Europe quietly buying a record amount of Putin's natural gas. So, interesting, interesting. Russia's energy infrastructure continue to get pounded. Isn't this part of conspiracy time here? Tinfoil hat on, everybody. Put your tinfoil hat on. All right, so us helping Ukraine pound Russia's oil infrastructure, driving Europe to buy more oil from us, driving profits in the US up, right? We're taking money. You know what? I play StarCraft. I am a big RTS guy. You guys ever play Age of Empires, StarCraft, things like that? The whole point of the game and the way you win is you slow down your enemy's resources. Okay? And if you're able to slow their resources more than you are, you're earning more resources more than the enemy. If you're able to kind of pick off a worker here or there and slow their resource generation down, you eventually pull away in this gap to where there's no way they could come back and beat you, and you just run them over, and it's a time thing. You know what I mean? If there's no initial first strike, if it's not a quick blitzkrieg and it's over, it's a time game from there. And it's a race for resources, you know? So if we're out here hitting Russia's resources like that, you know, and stopping that, that's helping us kind of win the game. We're pushing the money and the economic value our way from other players on the board. Does that make sense? That's my random high thought for the morning. Oh, yeah, I wanted to look over here. What's a good name for the former Bitcoin turned AI power suppliers? AI Power Lords, AI Power Factory, AI Factory, Neo REITs, Hash to HPC, Megawatt Wizards, ACDC, AI Compute Data Centers. Dude, I'm not against that. And all these older dudes are going to be like, ACDC. Uh, I would not, dude. And all the young kids will be too young to get it. Like, I'm at the right middle age where I get it. AI infrastructure landlords, compute infrastructure utilities, digital infrastructure companies, compute daddies, electron factories, coin to AIers, power lords, megawatt miners. Dude, megawatt miners is a pretty good one. Megawatt miners is a good one, dude. Hash to two bit switch. I don't know. Dude, megawatt miners. I think megawatt miners is the clear winner here. Just for good old Brian Sullivan. How do you spell it? How the fuck do you spell megawatt? God, I can't spell for shit, chat. I can't spell. Why would I put a Y in there? God, I'm so stupid, chat. Brian Sullivan. Another great article. It seems like Russia and Middle East oil disruption is good for business in the American energy sector. I think Megawatt Miners is the winner. Another great article. If I put my tinfoil hat on for a moment, it seems like Russia and Middle East oil disruption is good for business in the American energy sector. Boom. Look at that. And it cleanly removes the link and leaves it as a clickable image. Love that. Love that. Lost all our viewers posting that, though. Appreciate it, everybody. Appreciate that. Where are we at with, I didn't need to click there at all. How's the bot doing this morning? I think we made some purchases while I was asleep last night. Let's see what happened with the trading bot. We made some buys. This was last night that I made that happen. I closed the VVB position, crypto owner Owner closed. This was owner closed. I didn't want the VVV position. I wanted to buy lighter when the signal was saying it. So I kind of forced that one. But then overnight, while I was asleep, this is what I love. While I was asleep, we bought some Ethereum and Bitcoin. I love this bot. This is fucking fire, dude. Performance, we lost 10 cents on our VVV close. I just wanted to get out of there. I love that it says owner close there. Claude even chastises me and shit. It's fucking sick. I'll have enough conviction to turn it on in the bot. If I want to hold a little spot bag on my own and forget about it, I will. But the bot shouldn't be trading that, and it was stopping us from, uh, trading things that we had more conviction in because it was holding the portion of tradable capital in crypto was getting used on that token. That's why I wanted to close it. We'll see this morning. Things are getting stronger for. I love this. We're down to a D rating. I cashed some cash out yesterday. I cashed some margin out to my bank account just to do it for fun. We're 26% of the goal. But what I really love about this is we're warming. We have a covered call income. If I own 100 shares of anything, which I do of ARKCC, it's telling me about the premium here in the calls, in selling some calls against the portfolio. We need to get a little higher. I want a higher annualized return before I do it, but this is very, 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 very interesting here. This is basically a free $8 in 36 days. That ARKCC is going to be above $20 in 30 days. Dude, it's at like 19 bucks right now. Pretty tempting. Pretty tempting. Dividends are coming. The bot is cranking away. The bot is seriously cranking away. It has been getting better and better. We have been updating it, making sure everything's working. I'm pretty hyped to get some more money in that thing going into next month. We're gonna drop a little more cash in there. It's gonna be sad. We stream all next week and then we leave for Rare Evo. We're gonna have a week off while we're at Rare Evo. Let's see what's in the crypto news today. Galaxy institutional stablecoin yield with new DeFi vaults. Everybody's doing vaults. The most popular Bitcoin call option has slipped by 10,000. Negative. Ether outruns Bitcoin as ETF money returns. Almost all of from BlackRock's fund. Ether is the only large cap crypto asset doing much of anything this week, and the softer US inflation print that lifted the market Tuesday does not explain it. Ether traded near 1920 on Thursday, up 2.2% on the day, and roughly 11% over 7 sessions. US spot Ether ETFs took in 96 million over the first 3 days of the week. Bitcoin's funds are still lurching. However, US spot Bitcoin, as much as Ether bid, is narrower. Grayscale's original Ether Trust, which charged 2.5, has now bled 5.3 billion. Robinhood chain, dude. This whole article says nothing about Clarity and how Ethereum is positioned as the best fucking crypto to benefit from the Clarity Act. Who the fuck? Sherwa Malawala, you clearly don't live in the US to write this fucking article, do you? Fucking what, dude? The reason is Clarity. Could this maybe be a sign? Could people be buying Ethereum because Clarity Act is on the horizon and it specifically affects stable coins and DeFi and shit, which really has not much to do with Bitcoin, to be fucking honest? And all the stable coins and DeFi are on Ethereum. So Isn't Ethereum trying to fucking tell you something? Could this be trying to tell you something? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking annoying. The most popular Bitcoin call option is blah, 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 rebooting the internet inside the open source project that let AI programs pay each other. I think we read that yesterday. Jesse Pollock steps back from base. Dude, they tagged in Kobe because Jesse's not cool anymore. Like, Jesse can't be cool. He's fucking become cringe. Let's be real. Jesse Pollock has become, unfortunately, cringe. And Coinbase was about to lose the fucking game to Robinhood real fast. And they had to make a move. Jesse was already on the way out. He was on his last leg. Clearly, people were fucking pissed at him, making fun of him, that he's cringe, that fucking base is not for pimping or squirting or any of that dumb creator coin, meme coin shit that you're fucking looking at. This is for real finance over here. And he really burnt the fucking community out and ruined the rep of what could have been the largest layer 2 that had the first mover advantage for Coinbase. And the final fucking straw was Robinhood launching their chain and being fucking cool and taking all that fucking market share and generating all that fucking money. That's exactly what fucking happened. All right? And Jesse's out. And when they needed to make an adjustment, they made a big news buy off of Kobe. It was the biggest splash. It took over all of Twitter. What's the best move to now do with Kobe and use Kobe's social capital to try and revive base to now who is in second, at least be a competitor to Robinhood Chain. The only person, the only brand that could do that in crypto to call back those retail users was Kobe. And that's why they fucking pulled that lever. And Jesse is out, and Kobe is in only as a marketing stunt and play. Kobe's not actually fucking doing anything. That kid is so dumb rich. He's not fucking working. You think Kobe's sitting down actually working on anything? No, dog. That was all marketing. And it was an excellent marketing play. Kobe's brand, that's what he did. He did that. He's gonna comment on tweet for a few weeks. He's gonna act like he's listening. He's gonna get some customer service done, and then he's gonna go quiet after a while. You know, once he's beat into everybody's heads for a few weeks that he's the man, he's getting shit done, he's shipping, back to being quiet. Let's be fucking real. Clip that little rant there and let's just put that on fucking Twitch, on Twitter. You know what I mean? Any clippers in the chat? Probably went on a little too long there, but that's the fucking story. You know what I mean? And they're using Kobe's clout as a massive marketing PR stunt. That's basically the story there. We don't even need to read that. Timeline of the Ethereum Foundation's ongoing shakeup. Can I see the timeline or no? Nope. There's a timeline somewhere, but you don't get to see it. The Ethereum Foundation entered 2026 under mounting pressure. Developers, investors, prominent ETH community members spent months criticizing the organization. Yeah, the past year, people have been criticizing the EF. Overly focused on layer 2 scaling while neglecting improvements to the base layer. The first major shakeup to the foundation came in February when co-executive director Tom Stanzak, I'm sorry, I butchered that, said he'd step down. Later, the foundation published a new mandate outlining a narrower vision for its role within the ecosystem, the CROPS framework. Tons of departures. 9 senior foundation leaders, researchers, and executives left the organization. The largest period of turnover in its 12-year history. cut roughly one-fifth of its workforce, eliminating 54 positions and reducing its annual operating budget by 40% as part of a plan to make the organization leaner, more financially sustainable. There's a lot of nonprofits that have sprung up out of this in place, and there's a lot of work going on with different dad people. Ask them, yeah, fucking ask them questions, whatever. There. I think governance over there is just straight cooked. Cooked. Solo Bitcoin miner makes $200,000 using $150 equipment. God, must be nice, dude. So, a solo Bitcoin miner out here recently at the jackpot in a lottery stroke of luck, turning a modest investment into an outsized gain. The miner, equipped with a small hobbyist grade device called a BitAxe, recently struck Bitcoin block number and walked away with 3.13 Bitcoin, worth roughly 200,000. Oh my god, the miner was running the rig for just 8 hours through the public pool service. Oh my god. Those things are probably selling like crazy. Think of it as the mining equivalent of winning the lottery with a scratch off ticket from a gas station. Holy fucking shit, that's crazy. Holy wow. Holy wow. Makes me want to gamble and set one of those up. Thanks to the crew. Shout out to the viewers and the subs. I know we're probably down a lot. We just lost all those viewers from whatever. But shout out to everybody that was here and is here still. All the subs and everything. We finally got another payout. We got $50 from Twitch and we put it right in our individual savings account where we're gonna get some divvies, dude. It's in there. We're chilling, my friend. What else is in the news? U.S. adds four Iranian central bank crypto wallets to sanctions. Are they getting around it though? Wait, what's this article on Trump? I think I was trying to read this last night and I didn't get into it. And I did hear, little birdie did tell me that there was a meeting at the White House yesterday about this stuff. Clarity Act faces the final weeks of potential Senate floor time in which it can most realistically get passed this year. The major unfinished section is the legislation's restrictions on senior government officials' personal business interests in the crypto sector. Democrats have demanded such limits, most significantly to address Trump's own ties, but negotiators have been unable to fix on a compromise even as the clock winds down in the Senate calendar. The president and his advisors are expected to meet with the Senate to work on closing that gap. The text of an almost final version of the Clarity Act was expected to begin circulating. It may slip later in the week while talks continue. Clarity's progress may hinge on what the president is willing to accept on the ethics section. It's literally Trump. It's literally hanging on Trump. And the debate is over ethics. Why is this a debate? I fucking hate that this is even a thing. Like, why is Trump holding up the fucking Clarity Act? And I'm pretty sure we all agree that there shouldn't be any insider trading on crypto from senior government officials. Like, how can we not do this? That directly restricts his businesses that he just fucking started and made 10x more than he ever made on a business he's been in for fucking 40, 50 fucking years. Made more than $1 billion last year. He made more than $1 billion from crypto. And it wasn't even good things. It's not like he's in like Uniswap or Ovway. It's not like he's like part of Morpho vaults or anything like that. It's off of fucking Trump and Melania meme tokens and World Liberty financial bullshit that he had fucking large international donors fucking buy into basically. Industry insiders have contended that getting the ethics section nailed down would launch Clarity through the remainder of its Senate hurdles, but Trump's willingness to allow restrictions that might affect him has remained uncertainty. The Senate is to depart Washington for its lengthy summer recess after the first week of August, leaving only a few weeks to work out final Clarity Act effort before the lawmakers scatter and begin focusing more intently on November's midterm elections. Okay, okay, very, very interesting. I maintain, and I think ETH is pointing at it, maybe not with the pullback today, but we have a greater market pullback, so that's hard to understand what's going on here. But I feel like if ETH continues to rally on longer time horizons, the weekly, the daily here, if we can say that this was a bottom, that would be nice. If we could get ETH back above 2,400 on a weekly close, would be really fucking nice. We're going to have to battle with the $2,000 number for a bit here. The main issue is like, let's not close a week back below 1,600. Let's put in a higher low. If we're going to do anything, if we pull back for a week or two, waiting on clarity, let's put in a higher low. But I do think ETH is signaling here that we're trying to get clarity past at least, that we're trying to have some clarity in the world. That is a horrible AI photo of Trump. MoonPay has acquired the crypto infrastructure startup Glide, integrating Glide's deposit and routing technology. The company said in a joint announcement sharp with Cointelegraph on Thursday. MoonPay, a financial technology platform that provides fiat to crypto payment services, said the deal is part of MoonPay's broader effort to become a digital asset infrastructure provider, adding capabilities beyond its original crypto payments business. Former members of the team behind Robinhood Wallet, Glide was founded in 2023. The company was founded to help applications accept deposits from different tokens, wallets, exchanges, and payment sources. Glide supports more than 100 tokens across 30 blockchain networks. Crypto deposits. Remove friction from crypto deposits. Hitting a lick. The Glide co-founders met at Robinhood, where they worked together on the Robinhood wallet. We got into Y Combinator with a plan to build wallet infrastructure for Web3 consumer startups, but working with those startups showed us that the users struggle to get money into their wallets. Shifted its focus from wallet infrastructure. So they basically took the idea they had from working at Robinhood and ran off with it, and now MoonPay is buying them as a competitor. Whew, whew. MoonPay has not disclosed the financial terms of the Glide acquisition. Their sixth acquisition of the year. They've done one a month. Wow. Wow. Very fucking interesting. Tokenized stocks market cap gains to a record 2.3 billion. This number is going to go so far up. ARK pushes back against A16Z TradFi, wants blockchain, not DeFi. Hmm. This is an interesting thing that I would love people to speak on. ARK Invest Director of Research pushed back against investor A16 Crypto's thesis that traditional finance will adopt blockchain through permissioned infrastructure rather than DeFi. Yeah, I don't think that's right. He added that crypto native firms such as Circle and Coinbase, rather than incumbent financial institutions, are best positioned to build the next generation of financial infrastructure. I think it lands somewhere in the middle. I think true traditional finance folks like Robinhood and other banks are going to have their own layer twos, but everything is going to definitely settle on a decentralized bottom settlement layer of Ethereum. That makes sense to me. Everything has to have consensus where it's decentralized. So the like people like a Canton, and I don't know if Greg's out there watching or something. Like I don't want to get shot or killed, but a thing like a Canton network or any of those other layer ones that are specific to that, I don't think they win. I don't think they win in the long run because competitors aren't going to want to use infrastructure that's specific to somebody else. People want to build their own infrastructure like the Robinhood Layer 2 or Coinbase's base, but it all settles on the decentralized layer that everybody agrees on. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And I definitely think they're interested in vaults. You see a lot of people, a lot of TradFi starting to play around with vaults. So, damn. The photo of Sam Bankman Fried. Ian M., where are we going today? Ian M., where are we going today if you're there? Where are you sending me, my friend? Where are you sending me? The U.S. Senate has adopted a resolution opposing executive clemency for former FTX Sam Bankman Fried. The convicted crypto executive behind one of the industry's largest collapses, the Senate has agreed by unanimous consent to the simple resolution with a non-binding measures stating that Bankman Fried should not receive executive clemency. Oh shit. U.S. financial system. The measure cannot block a presidential pardon, but reflects a bipartisan Senate opposition after Bankman Fried sought executive clemency from President Donald Trump. So wait, what? Oh, my head hurts right here for a second. Literally had a throbbing pain right here on the side of my head. That hurt. Cynthia Loomis, blah, 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 blah. Unlike legislation, a simple Senate resolution does not require approval from the House. President doesn't have the force of law. Not reflected the latest floor action, blah, 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 blah. Senator Bernie Moreno, speaking at Rare Evo, joined as a co-sponsor on Tuesday, adding Republican support to the bipartisan measure. Bankman Fried was sentenced to 25 years of federal prison in March 2024 after being convicted of fraud and conspiracy charges linked to FTX's collapse in 22. Let's go, Senator Bernie Moreno. I'd love to see that, dude. That's my senator right there, dog. Fucking what? $750,000 in the market of will Bankman Fried get pardoned by July 31st, like 15 days from now? What? 1%? Did we get news? Wasn't there like some 8:30 news that was supposed to hit? Freaking spelled it wrong. Good thing I hadn't searched yet. Got you, dude. Okay, okay, okay. What else we got in the news today, dude? Nvidia backed fireworks hit 17.5 billion valuation. The cost of the latest artificial intelligence models is increasingly breeding anxiety among finance executives who have started directing employees to consider open source alternatives. That's boosting cloud startup Fireworks, which competes with Amazon and Google to host models that developers can weave into applications. It has exceeded $1 billion in revenue, 5 times what it had last year, and now raised a $1.5 billion round at a $17.5 billion valuation. Wow. Holy shit. We're seeing super linear demand. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to have this kind of a market. Technology, whose market capitalization are counted in the trillions with the startup's revenue milestone, suggests that companies aren't completely satisfied with the models coming out of top labs. DigitalOcean, easy to use cloud infrastructure. We use DigitalOcean, up 149% so far this year. CoreWeave, which rents out NVIDIA graphics processing units, raised $1.5 billion. Fireworks does bring business into the inference cloud market alongside startups of Bastion and Together AI. Fireworks has started forming alliances. Yeah, he was good. Struggle 4 was good. And he was bigger too. I didn't expect that at all. Partnership with Microsoft, which fields its own Foundry service for running open models. The arrangement allowed customers of the Windows and Office company to draw on models through Fireworks, which relies on computing power from more than 20 suppliers, including Microsoft. Easy way to adopt models from Chinese companies such as DeepSeek, Minimax, ZAI, OpenWeight models OpenAI released last year are also available. The idea is for clients to bring their own data that frontier labs don't have and refine models until they deliver state-of-the-art performance for specific tasks. With Anthropic OpenAI servers up generalized intelligence, Fireworks can unlock specialized intelligence. This is what we were talking about in a fucking Twitter space last night. Holy shit. Cryptocurrency exchange operators Coinbase have been adopting cheaper models where it makes sense. Our cost compared with the equivalent quality closed model is 5 to 10 times cheaper. Interesting. Hires former Salesforce executive as its president in April. A formidable sales team after years of having customers sign themselves up. The new money will also help Fireworks obtain more GPUs and hire more technologists. Wow, they're about to go so hard, dude. This is definitely uh, a time where like gaining market share and I think being efficient, like with the AI, we were just talking about this in a Twitter space last night, like being really efficient and having a harness that efficiently changes between different models depending on what you ask it to do so that you're not using like the latest and greatest Fable 5 to ask it what George Washington's birthday is. Like you could clearly use a way lower AI model to do that, I think is the future, you know? We're going to shoot this raid over to Alasdair. We're going to get to work for the day. It's almost 9:30. I hope everybody has a great day. We had great viewership today. I appreciate it. We're live on Twitter and X right now. So appreciate all the folks watching if they're watching over there. Come check us out on Twitch. See you guys on the flip side. Peace.